When a homeless black girl saw a car crash on the edge of the city, she didn't think, she ran straight into danger. Inside that car was a billionaire's pregnant wife, barely conscious. But what truly shook the billionaire wasn't that she saved his wife's life. It was what the girl quietly asked at the hospital afterward. That question changed everything. The night sky over the city was heavy with rain. Street lights flickered through the fog, and traffic roared like a storm of its own. Down on the corner of Maple and 8th, Tiana, a young homeless girl, huddled beneath an overpass, trying to stay dry. Her clothes were soaked, her hands trembling from the cold, but her eyes stayed sharp, always watching, always alert. Life on the streets taught her one thing: if you wanted to survive, you had to notice everything. Then, the screech of tires, a loud metallic crash. Her head snapped up. A black SUV had slammed into a street pole just ahead, its hood crushed, smoke pouring out. Without thinking, Tiana ran toward it. "Someone help!" she shouted, but the rain swallowed her voice. No one came. Cars kept passing by, afraid to stop. She yanked the door handle, jammed. Through the cracked glass, she saw a woman slumped over the steering wheel, her belly swollen, heavily pregnant. Blood streaked her forehead. "Oh God," Tiana gasped. "Please hang on." With adrenaline pounding, she picked up a broken street sign and smashed the side window. Glass cut her hands, but she didn't stop. She pulled the door open and reached in. "Ma'am, please stay with me." The woman's eyelids fluttered. "My baby," she whispered weakly. "You're gonna be okay," Tiana said, voice shaking. She unbuckled the seatbelt and dragged the woman out, just as smoke turned into flames. The explosion came seconds later, heat licking their backs, as Tiana shielded the woman with her own body. When paramedics arrived, they found Tiana clutching the unconscious woman's hand, blood dripping from her palms. "Her name's Rebecca," the EMT said, checking her pulse. "She's still alive, because of you." Tiana nodded, exhausted. "Just take care of her." Hours later, in the bright white corridors of St. Andrew's Hospital, Daniel Harlow burst through the doors. His heart raced as he demanded answers. "Where's my wife?" he shouted at the nurse's station. "Rebecca Harlow." "She's stable, but, sir, there's something you should know. A young woman saved her, risked her life. She's in the ER, being treated for injuries." Daniel's eyes narrowed. "Where is she?" When he entered the ER bay, he saw her, Tiana, sitting quietly on a hospital bed, hands bandaged, clothes torn and covered in soot. Despite the pain, her posture was calm, dignified. "You saved my wife," he said softly. Tiana looked up, startled. She's okay, right?" "She is, because of you." He paused, overwhelmed. He was used to power, wealth, and control, but this raw, selfless courage left him speechless. "Why did you do it?" he finally asked. Tiana hesitated. "Because nobody else did." Her answer hit him like a blow. Simple, honest, heartbreaking. Hours passed. Rebecca awoke, shaken but safe. The doctor said both she and the baby would recover. Daniel couldn't stop glancing between his wife's bed and the young woman who had saved them. When Tiana stood to leave, he stopped her. "Wait, please. At least let me help you. Money, shelter, anything you need." Tiana shook her head. "You don't owe me anything, sir. I didn't do it for a reward." He frowned. "Then what do you need? There must be something." She hesitated. Her eyes dropped to the floor. Can I see the baby when she's born? Just once, to know she's okay." Daniel froze. He wasn't expecting that. No greed, no demands, just a simple, pure wish to see life she had helped save. He nodded slowly. emotion catching in his throat. "You'll do more than that," he said. 2 weeks later, the Harlows invited her back to the hospital for the birth. When the newborn's cries filled the room, Tiana stood in the corner, tears streaming down her face. Rebecca motioned her closer. "Tiana, meet Grace." The baby's tiny hand wrapped around Tiana's finger. For the first time in years, she felt warmth, not just physical, but emotional. It broke something inside her and healed something at the same time. Daniel watched silently. He wasn't just grateful, he was transformed. A month later, Tiana was no longer living on the streets. Daniel offered her a job at his company, helping manage a new charity foundation, one focused on helping the homeless youth of the city. When reporters later asked why, he simply said, "Because sometimes heroes wear rags instead of capes. She reminded me what humanity looks like." And when Tiana finally stood on a stage months later, speaking about her journey, she looked over at Daniel and Rebecca in the front row, baby Grace in their arms, and said, "I didn't save a life that night. I saved 3. Theirs and my own."